Hello, survivors, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. It's been a couple weeks since I put out a video, but I wanted to tell you thank you to all the people that sent me messages and asked me where I've been and where's my content and what's going on. I just want to lay those fears to rest. I am not stopping doing this. Ark and Ark News and what's going on the servers and videos of playthroughs and all that kind of stuff is always my top priority because that's what this channel is built around, and I haven't forgot you. I just had a couple weeks where I needed to take care of business. So I'm back, don't worry. Tonight I want to talk to you about a couple of issues that are really hot in the community and are issues that I think you want to know about because it's what I'm seeing people post about all over the place. Is number one, when are server transfers opening? And then number two, I also want to talk about an issue that happened today, was about a huge exploit and rollback. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So if that sounds interesting to you and this content has given you some Ark news and you find it interesting, please think about subscribing and share it around so that helps the algorithm get my content out there. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. That's my first major goal, and I'm almost there, but I could use your help. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about server transfers, because this is the big dinosaur in the room. In the past, we were told that we would not get server transfers until Scorched Earth released, and that was when they were planning on doing it. Well, they've thrown a wrench in the works, and now it appears that we have a new roadmap, and Scorched Earth has been pushed back until April or March. And so that means that the server transfers wouldn't have happened until then if they would have held to that original plan. But now, as of yesterday, they made this tweet saying there's about to be a new calendar on the wall, and we filled it with content for a Dynamite 2024. Before we step away from the New Year's celebrations and a quick recharge, we'd like to share our first quarter schedule for the coming year. And I just want to say that if Wildcard would continue to do this right here, this would be great. If they would give us a little update every quarter, every 3 months or so, let us kind of know what their roadmap is, I think that the community would be a lot happier. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about server transfers. So they dropped the bomb on us. January. Full server transfers on official servers across all platforms. Once enabled, players will be able to download items and creatures onto the map without restriction. That's huge, because what that means is for people on official servers, they can move to different servers. So, if you're on an official server and you're not happy there, maybe you didn't get the spot you wanted, or maybe somebody's being a D-bag and ruining your play, you can move to a different server. So that's big. It also is a big deal for people that do unofficial servers, because what that means is now they can cluster their servers, and that's huge for unofficials. The only successful unofficial servers are the ones that have clusters, and this now opens up that ability for them. So that's big. For people that play single player, no big deal, because this doesn't really mean anything to you. You're never going to go off your single player experience anyway. So, but for official servers, for PvE content, and for PvP, probably, which is the reason why they did this, because they're trying to figure out a way to make the experience all it can be for their PvP players. They've enabled transfers. So now you can have mega tribes warring against mega tribes on different servers. You can have tribes that are bored on their server because they've destroyed everybody to the dust. Now they can go to a different server and look for somebody else to mess with. That's big for PvP players. So now, going to warn you, this is my feelings about this, and I'm just going to lay it out there and be brutally honest. I'm not a wildcard fanboy. I don't lick at the ground every little scrap they throw down. I'm not paid by them, so I don't have to sit here and lick their boot heels. I can tell you straight up how I feel about this and not have to worry about the repercussions because I don't care. I'm making this content because I like the game, not because I like Wildcard. And what I think about the server transfer opening in January, I think is stupid. Because the servers run like crap. One of the owners of the studio, Jeremy Stieglitz, flat out said that in the Extra Life event recently. He said the servers are running like ass. He said it. He knew it. He said that they were going to fix it. And then the next day they enabled the restriction on the render distance, which basically, I mean, it made the game really suck. Because when you're out there looking for a dino and it doesn't appear until it's right in front of your face, that's stupid. But that was, I guess, their Band-Aid at the time to help with the lag and the stuttering and the crashes was, hey, I know, let's limit render distance. Well, that's not the arc I like. That's not the arc I want to play. I want to be able to scope out dinos from a long ways away and looking for things can see what's out there without having to get right on it. I almost got munched today by a Giga because I was actually looking for one, and normally I would have been able to see it, from the other side of the volcano, but I didn't see it until I rendered right on top of it, and I almost got stuck in it on my RG, and that was so frustrating. So the condition of the servers right now is really bad on official servers. They suck. The stuttering and the lag is terrible. The render distance situation is terrible. It's making the experience bad. And okay, a lot of people will say, well, Miranda's Crafter, you got to give them a break because this is an early release version of the game. It's not a gold copy. Yes, I know that. But this is not like this is a brand new game that we've never seen before. They've been making some Ark for over 8 years now. And they basically just copy-pasted the code over to make Ascended. So give me a break. They could have had this figured out a lot better than this by now. Yeah, I know they're working on it, and it's a great game, don't get me wrong. It's my favorite game of all time, and I'm going to play it anyway. I feel like a battered wife because I just keep on taking it and begging for more. But, I mean, give me a break. Opening up server transfers in a situation like that is going to be a nightmare because now I'm struggling to play as it is. Let's throw 10,000 more people onto my server and let's see what the experience is going to be like then. Yeah, big, good decision. Why not we think smart about this and fix what we got before we go doing things to make it worse? So, yeah, that's my rant. But if you really want to know the truth, in my opinion, and I'll preface this by saying in my opinion, I think this is all due to Snail Games hemorrhaging money at every turn. They're desperate for cash. So they're telling Wildcard, all right, hurry up, push up the roadmap. Let's get going and get some content released so that we can release these paid expansion packs and start generating some money. That's what's going on. Wildcard can't, and I'm actually going to defend Wildcard in this one situation, okay? Because Wildcard can't fix anything that's wrong when they've constantly got their publisher and basically their overlord, Snail Games, poking them in the ribs at every 5 seconds saying, come on, get something out that we can charge for. That's exactly what the problem is. That's exactly what it is. It all boils down to greed. It all boils down to money. Every single time in every situation on the earth, it boils down to money and greed. So that's what's going on here. But anyway, that's my opinion. Take it or leave it. If you like it, great. If you don't, oh well, sorry. But leave your comments in the comments so that I can see what you think. And I'd like to have a discussion with you about it because if you can come up with a better idea than what they're thinking here, then I'd be glad to hear it. I think they need to put down the weed. and work on fixing their servers or something. I don't know what's going on over there, but it sure ain't care for the customer, because you would never add to a situation that's worse by opening up the doors and allowing 10,000 more people to go hop servers all day long and cause the experience to be worse for the ones that actually live there. Yeah, on my server, I consider myself a resident. I live there. I spend a lot of time there, and I don't want to see it get ruined. But because I'm not going to another server. I've already got my spot that I wanted. My tribe actually captured the Redwoods Lake, and we love that spot. That's one of the most sought-after places on the map, and we own it. So I'm not about to go anywhere else, and I'm just like, ugh, come on. Anyway, rant over. So now let's look at the rest of this announcement. It says, February surprise, we have a new addition to the schedule. The launch of the remastered center map, along with an early debut from the community-voted caregiver dinosaur, the Gigantoraptor. What? Okay. This is weird, because from what we knew, the community-voted dinosaur for the center was the Shastasaurus, which is a dinosaur that I have been chomping at the bit to get my hands on. I want that thing badly. But now we're going to get the center instead of Scorched Earth, and we're going to get the Gigantoraptor instead of the Shastasaurus. I don't understand that one. I'm just going to be straight up honest. I really don't get it. Maybe we're still going to get the Shastasaurus on that map, and it's just going to be a surprise. I don't know. But Dolly did go into the Discord, and she said, yes, folks, we know that the Shastasaurus was supposed to be on the center, and we've replaced it with the Gigantoraptor. Her words were something to the effect of, we had to shuffle things around and make some changes, which would really be awesome if they'd give just a little bit more explanation about what's going on rather than just throwing those remarks out there like that. But that's one of Wildcard's big failings, is their community interaction is lousy. They need some help badly in that department, but whatever. March, the launch of Scorched Earth DLC and the Frontier Adventure Pack, which will have players strut the sands in Western style. So there we go. There comes the release of the new sister packs, or whatever it was that Jeremy called it, that they can charge for. Here's Snail Games influence behind the scenes saying, come on, let's go. Let's get some money. Anyway. In early 2024, full cross-platform premium mods will also debut via our partners at Overwolf. So the cross-platform premium mods they're going to charge for are going to debut finally. We've been waiting on this one to see how it's going to shake out. And we're eager to share more on all of our upcoming plans for the year, and we'll see you on the Ark in 2024, survivors. Happy New Year from the Wildcard team. Okay, well, there's a lot to unpack there. I hope that, you've taken time to think about how all this is going to affect your play experience, because it's definitely going to be different. Sometime in January, we don't have a date, comes transfers. February, we're going to get the center map, which was out of left field on this one. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what the impetus behind that was. March, then we got Scorched Earth and the new DLC packs releasing. So, yeah. That's what's going on now. And this answers one of the biggest questions the community's had about when transfers. Okay, so we don't really know an exact date, but that's pretty much the news on that one. So let's talk about something else that happened today. I wasn't going to put this in the video for today, but I just cannot resist. Today, the servers went down. Without any notice. They just, we thought it was a crash like normal. We go through that about 4 or 5 times a day. But with this one, it was different because there was some kind of hack, some kind of cheat that caused them to have to take down the server service-wide. That means every server that Wildcard had up, PvE, PvP, all of them, small tribes, all of them, they all came down. And they were investigating an issue that was causing them to have to roll back the servers for over 8 hours. They said they rolled back the official network for approximately 8 hours. That's not true, because we have timed events that we did that we know that the servers rolled back for almost 12 hours. So yeah, that was a big deal. They were doing that to reduce damage caused by an exploit. So, what was it? Wildcard can't really say anything, and I'll give them, a break on this one, because they can't really sit here and explain what the exploit was, because then that will just cause people to look at that to try to find another exploit in regards to it. And I get that. They can't do that. So they just basically say an exploit. But this was a big one, because it caused the whole network to have to come down. It caused the whole network to have to roll back 12 hours. So yeah, it says that they will be taking enforcement action against tribes that have benefited from the exploit. So whatever it was a big deal. It's usually dupes. It's usually stuff like that, where people have figured out ways to dupe materials and items and dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff, and then they end up wrecking the economy of the game because they make millions of them, and then they just basically are insanely rich in ARK terms. That's usually what will cause them to have to do a rollback. Looking at the official Discord, though, there was a lot of talk going around today about some kind of cryopod exploit, where people had figured out on PvP servers, if they threw a cryopod down within the range of a turret, that the turret would attack a cryopod. And because cryopods can't take damage, you can kind of understand where that one's going. They figured out a way to soak people's turrets without actually having to take any hit for it. No dinos lost, no death of players. That would be crazy. And you'd be the tribe that was defending, watching your bullet count go down for no reason. You're like, what is going on? That would have been huge. But I personally believe it was probably some sort of dupe, which is usually what the case is. It's usually always related to PvP, because that's where most of the issues come in at, that cause the PvE players to have to suffer with the changes too, that absolutely have nothing to do with them, but whatever. But that was just interesting. I just thought I wanted to talk about this today. What do you think it was? You think it was a dupe? You think it was some kind of PvP hack or, something like that? Let's talk about it. If you know something, by all means say so, because they can't stop us from talking about it. So if you know something about it, let me know. I'm so curious to know what it was that caused this. Didn't really affect me an awful lot, because by the time I went to bed last night, I actually got a good night's sleep last night for once from Mark, and I was offline for 11, 12 hours anyway. So everything that rolled back was during while I was sleeping, so no big deal for me. I feel sorry for those people that worked their butt off trying to take advantage of the holiday rates, and you lost possible mutations, imprints, cravings, things like that you were doing, babies that you were raising, twins, triplets, whatever. I'm sorry if you lost all that. That sucks. Or got some really good loot from a drop and now it's gone. That's ARK, man. That's ARK. ARK giveth and ARK taketh away. ARK is a cruel mistress. So, yeah. Sorry if that was you. Anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. I just wanted to talk about these two things because they're big, they're hot, they're what the community's talking about right now. And if you got any comments, throw them in the section and let's talk about them. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks for sharing your time with me, and I appreciate you watching my content. Talk at you later. Bye.